I think we're live, Richie.
Can I have a URL?
No. Alright, so now let me
All
go
right.
to our YouTube page and see if
Oh
we're
yeah,
in fact
I can just do that, can't I? You
Yes.
don't own me. Here we go. I have 2 viewers already. Hello
Excellent.
everybody.
We
Let's
are live. Okay, good. Good job, everyone.
pop out chat. Here we go. And I'll send this to everyone.
You sent this to everyone?
Yes, a broadcast put on the fucking moon.
Okay, so let
There.
me add everyone
Okay.
in Discord to let them know that the
Good,
AMA has
good,
started.
good. Hey Autumnal Void, I have your request. We will do it.
It's a surprise! Shh.
They asked.
Just when I do it, a surprise shh, and wink at you behind these glasses, just act natural.
Okay, there's no surprise.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, add everyone. Hi, everyone! Exclamation
Hi.
point. We're doing another
Everyone's
Bloodborne
over here. Hello.
AMA. Hi.
Thank you, Bear. Thank you, Bear.
Okay, and then I have to. Oh no!
Hello, George.
That was an intense sneeze. Okay, and then I gotta go to
Hi, everyone. Epsilon,
Twitter.
Creepy Nibs, James.
We're doing another
Nick says you look like an undercover agent.
I am an agent of Fallout. Richie!
Yeah.
For those
Yes.
who don't know, what does my cap say?
Is it Nuka-Cola?
It's Nuka-Cola. I think it's reversed
Nuka-Cola.
How do I unreverse things in No, I can't unreverse it because I sit this way. This is my good angle, so it looks like I'm looking at you. So if I reverse it, I'm going to be talking like this. The sacrifice
I'm
that I
just looking
make.
at the camera.
What?
It's still backwards for me, so I don't look at you.
No, but I'm looking at what it looks like to the YouTube viewers.
Okay.
Because I think about those things, Richie. I'm the responsible one.
Epsilon says you look like a hacker.
Thank you. Thank you. God, Richie, Corvo has been giving me really bad allergies today.
Aw.
Like, sometimes he just does that.
When you got a cat, did you not think to get a cat that you weren't allergic to?
I was never allergic to anything in my life, and then all of a sudden, one day I'm allergic to peanuts, another day I'm allergic to the cat we get, which is Corvo.
Hey, Alhazred.
Okay. So we did that. What am I forgetting?
Yep.
Oh, right, because the questions we had for the AMA are from patreon.com/
Sinclair Law.
And so I'm gonna go there right now to see what people asked.
Okay. Do you want me to do my my unboxing while you look at that?
Yes.
Okay. You also have an unboxing. Who wants to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So I don't know if he's here. I don't know if he's awake or asleep because he's in the UK. But I got a present in the mail from Dalek.
Oh my god.
I know. What a nice man.
Yes.
And it is an 8-in-1 mini arcade game thing.
Oh my god, that is so cute.
Yeah, it's where it's got Dig Dug, Galaga, Galaxian, Mappy, Pac-Man, Sky Kid, Duraga, and Xevious.
I know Pac-Man.
Yeah.
I'm a pro.
Yeah. I wonder if this has an HDMI out, I can actually stream from it, so we could do that one day.
Yes. It's gonna be part of our Snack Covenant snack bar.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you very much to Dalek for this. It's lovely.
You, Dalek. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, this is actually a very big coincidence because I also got a package from Alhazred.
Oh wow.
This was not coordinated.
No, it wasn't.
At all. Let me just
No.
first finish here. I'm just trying to find the AMA. Did I not tag it? Oh no. Okay. Stay cool, Sin. Stay cool. Maybe if I scroll down. Oh no. Okay,
Oh no.
Richie was like, I was a little late in the morning.
Yeah.
I have a good reason. I took a shower
Uh-huh.
and blow dried my
Uh-huh.
hair to look presentable.
And then you put a giant Nuka-Cola hat over it.
Well, you can still see like this part, like you see it's dried.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sitting a little further from the camera than normal, so we're a bit more in sync. Because it was weird that I was a giant head and you were a tiny head. Now our heads are the same size, but I have a body. So
One step at a time. Oh, is
actually,
that
this is about the height difference we have in real life. So
No, it's not. I'm I'm way tall. No, you're like maybe this taller than me, like this much, like this. So it's not the same. Don't act tall when you're not. Do not do that. Richie tries
you
to
like?
act tall and older and wiser, but no.
Aren't you like 5'1"?
One and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
You're like 5'3".
No, I'm not.
Yep.
I am like almost 5'11".
Wait. 5'1" and 1/2. 5'1"
Yeah.
1 and 1 2 wins because it's more numbers.
That's
Thank you.
logic.
Okay. So let's see.
That's not an opinion. That's numbers.
Thank you. So let's see what we got from Al Hazred.
Okay.
Oh no, it's a box. How do I open? Where's my knife? Oh yeah, I told you my boyfriend's soon gonna unallow me the use of little knives because he's like he unallowed me the use of big knives. Then it was allowed again.
Yeah,
Then it was
yeah.
unallowed again. Now it's little knives. But I don't know how to work with little knives. They keep slipping. So I think he's gonna demote me to like plastic knives. Okay, do I have like a pen? I can stab this with a pen.
Hello, Darkmoon Blade. Hello, Graham.
Okay.
Hello, Booty Call of Cthulhu.
Okay. There we go. I'm a genius. I didn't even need a knife. Oh my god. Is this how the wheel inventor felt?
Yes.
Oh my, Al Hazred, how did you know? This is incredible. Oh my, okay, Al Hazred, I just saw it, got me, oh, it's two things. Okay, so basically, a long time ago, I saw this thing. I think on TV or on YouTube or wherever. And I'm like, oh my god, I should really get it.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about it. And
Right.
from time to time, I remember it.
Yeah.
God damn it. Open! I will break you if you don't open. No.
This is how the inventor of the wheel felt, because their boyfriend had said they weren't allowed to use levers anymore.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll figure out how to open it off stream. I shouldn't be using it on stream anyway, because it's going to be annoying. But look, it's like a fidget thing.
Oh!
I've wanted this for so long, but every time I think about it, I kind of forget. And then, he also got a
Katie.
fidget prism. I didn't even know about this one. This is amazing.
Katie, my glasses are from eBay.
Oh no, Richie, sorry. This is a skin
Sir?
for this, I think.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, this is fancy. Al Hazard, thanks so much, bruh.
Thank you.
Oh, amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, questions. Yeah, okay, right.
Okay.
I found them. Did I lose them again? Oh no, I got too excited and I lost the questions.
I can switch glasses, actually. I got 2 pairs. So you could get one and you got another for 50% off. There you go. Now they're pink.
That's a good deal. Oh, that's very
Thank
cute.
you. Thank you.
Okay, so I have
Yes.
the questions right here.
Mm-hmm.
First is by Bob. Oh, I have to work that day. Elaborate.
Bob, we're sorry that you have to work today. But you're with us in spirit, and this will be archived if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
And hang on, we'll pretend you're in chat. So I'll count to 5, and you type "Hi Richie" in the chat. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Hi Bob. It's like you're here.
That's beautiful. What I think Bob should have done is brought us to work. It's like bring your podcast to work day. Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. Okay, next one is by Graham. Have either Sin or Richie? This is like these glasses. They're like official Fallout dark glasses, so obviously they're not very good.
Yeah.
And I can't see. Jesus. Okay.
You know, you can take you're indoors, so you can take the glasses off. There's not a sun
No, I
indoors.
just bring the screen closer. Have either Sin or Richie played Greedfall? It's not just aesthetically similar to Bloodborne, but there are also narrative similarities.
I haven't played Greedfall.
Me neither.
I've seen it be played, but I haven't played it.
There is also a next question, next part to the question. If
Okay.
not, here's a proper Bloodborne-related question. Sorry if this just been answered or talked about previously, but the floating statue in Old Yarnum. What's up with that? Good one. Yeah, Richie, what's up?
That little sarcastic little thing at the end, that we can't edit that out.
What?
It's alright. Okay, so I can actually explain the statue, because I am the one who figured it out, because I was like going through the map data.
Uh-huh.
What happens is that at the exact XYZ coordinates of that statue, which is it's like 2 statues overlapping. At the exact XYZ coordinates of that statue, there is also an object that emits sound. It produces this like ambient noise. And because of the way that Bloodborne does sound, like if it's further away and it's in the sky, like you hear it when you're closer to it, you hear it less when you're away from it. And they patch that in one of the updates. And what happens is, for some reason, when they added that, they got its XYZ coordinates and the XYZ coordinates of the 2 statues confused. So that's why like that statue isn't there until you patch the game, and then it shows up. So literally they just like accidentally gave those statues the same coordinates as a sound effect. So it's just that.
Thank you, Richie. So, I have some stickers on my laptop that are not very aesthetic. And, so when I bring it up, you can see it.
Yeah, can we see it?
It's, cause they have the, the coffee.
Yeah.
It's from a while back. I don't drink
Yeah.
McDonald's coffee anymore.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is,
I've never drunk
I
McDonald's
don't know,
coffee.
it's from like an appliance, a sticker from an appliance.
Is this a custom in Russia? Just stick stickers from appliances on other appliances.
I don't know, and that's it. I feel like I should improve the sticker situation. I don't know why I put this here. I have no memory of this. Maybe Corvo did
Okay.
it.
My laptop is completely covered in stickers, but we'll show it off at another point because I have to move the
okay.
camera to do that.
Oh
I'm
my
nowhere
god!
near
I
it.
could put like a Brutus, Nostradamus stickers. We have Munchausen
Yeah,
stickers.
I do have an Brutus on my laptop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm also wearing a Brutus.
Oh, that's true. You are.
I am.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So some people the other day in Discord were like, I don't remember what they were saying, but it's like, oh, if only Sin had a power fist. Boom. Sin does
Amazing.
have a power fist. I actually wanted to buy 2 so I can dual wield.
Oh, okay. We have a question in chat. How did we meet, and are we related?
Yes, we're related. We're actually siblings.
A lot of people have said that we look alike. Do we?
Yeah, we both
I don't
queens. Look at my crown.
Yeah. The thing is, like, we both I think we both attempted the same look, but we actually don't normally, because your hair is red, like normally.
Originally?
Yeah, isn't your hair red? And you
Like
dye it?
naturally, it's dark brown, like
Oh, okay.
very dark brown. Yeah, I
All
dye
right.
it a
Okay.
reddish color to make it lighter.
I apologize. We actually do have the same hair color because my hair is also my hair was it was very very dark, and then basically when I fixed how much oil my skin was producing, um, it changed color because it wasn't oily anymore.
Hmm.
And then I was so used to it being dark that I started dyeing it dark
Oh, really? Interesting.
because it was so weird having just normal brown hair.
Interesting.
But to answer the question, we are in no way related that we are aware of.
Why? Why do you say that? No, that's our new thing. We should have
Okay,
like.
you're from Russia. I'm from Australia. I don't know at what point the family lines diverged, but it was a while ago.
Yeah. There you go. A while ago, family lines diverged, and we're now related.
Okay, yeah, we're related that you can trace us back to fucking mitochondrial Eve. We're
Yeah.
related.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a theory that I'm related to Mimi.
That's beautiful.
Because we actually have the same name, like, quite close in our family trees, and we're both kind of from Ireland, so... It's possible that we're, like, ninth
No?
cousins or something. Yeah.
Well, aren't all humans related, though?
Yeah,
So there we go.
and that's how the Snack Covenant ended racism.
Oh, I wish. Yeah.
What is the next question, Sin?
Okay. Next question is by John. There is an interesting concept design of a sleeping hunter in the press kit. Okay, I'll send you the picture.
No, I know the picture because I'm the one that scanned it.
Okay, and they say, I took the image and played around with the levels a bit. There is a crow above the head of the hunter, and they seem to have spiky plate mail on their left arm. Were all hunters related to crows at one point of development and metal armor?
Okay, so that's interesting because like I said, I'm the reason we have that photo essentially because I mean Lance's mostly, but like I went to Lance's place, got the press kit, brought it back here, scanned it, and then uploaded it.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why we have that picture. What that is it's of a character who is like the default hunter in the pre-release stuff. Where it's what they're wearing is like an early version of the Chard set and Dura's cap. But that model exists and it's not like the player character with that equipment, it's actually just one static like bespoke model. You can't change what it's wearing. You can't change what it's equipped with. And so that's where it comes from, and like yeah, there is more of an emphasis on metal armor and stuff in early versions. And there's also in early versions, there is a sword and a shield, just straight up like Dark Souls. And when we initially saw that, because it's like the same, there's like placeholder images where they're equipped with this, it's the kite shield from Demon Souls, and like some, I think, just generic sword from Demon Souls. And we were like, well, okay, they just put Demon Souls equipment in it because it's built on the Dark Souls engine and they had this lying around. But someone very recently found some more unused textures, and there is a full-on like HD remake of the equipment from Demon Souls. So they weren't actually just shoving that gear in the game, like they remade it at some point from scratch. So it looks like at some point like sword and shield combat was going to be in there, and like in the same press kit there's characters in there that are just straight up armed with knives. They're not armed with trick weapons. So it looks like, I was talking to Meth about this, and I was talking to Acer about it as well, where if you follow the development, it looks like the idea of like the firearms and the trick weapons started off as like, oh, this would be cool if this happened, and then it became a core mechanic gradually. But there's characters that like don't show up that just have like gauntlet weapons and stuff that you would see in Dark Souls that are totally new, and they just didn't follow through with them. So I think like it probably was a little closer to traditional Souls combat early on. And then it just got further and further away from that during development as they made the firearms like a standard thing.
Thank you, Richie.
Yeah. The crow thing I actually did not know about, so I will have a look. Did you send that to me?
Yeah, I sent it to you on Discord.
Okay. Yeah, it's making me download it. I kind of see it. For reference, like the image, the character is actually they're in the warp chair. If people remember, like it's something Lance dug up a while ago. The warp chair being the original like lantern equivalent. They're in the warp chair and they're in the hunter's dream, and they're in where the memory altar is now in the room. So it looks like that was back when, like, you know, the way that that worked as a hub is you would sit in the chair and you would like go from the chair outward and back again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think there's the statue there now, because that statue was a warp thing at one point as well, and I think they may have just left it there.
Okay. Thank you, Richie. So now
Yeah.
that we answered a couple of questions on Patreon, let's answer a couple of questions in the chat.
Okay. Can you ask them, because like it's really far away?
Yeah.
I have to like go
chat,
to
is
look
there
at it.
like can we agree on a question, chat, that's like really, really pressing and we all must know the answer to? Something that maybe we haven't discussed in the podcasts, or like, by the way, hi everyone, sorry,
Ryan is asking, is that his actual hair or a wig? And I don't know if they're talking about me or something from Bloodborne.
or me.
But yeah. Is that a
My
wig,
hair.
Sin?
No, it's my hair.
This is real. I do have some wigs, but maybe next time.
Cute. I'm drinking coffee from my magical cup that has a hole in it. It's a hole. Look.
Shogun says you're much quieter than me.
Oh, I could fix
Also,
that.
Devon is here. I can turn myself
Devon
down.
is here. No, Richie. What are we doing? Are you turning yourself down and I'm turning myself up?
Can you turn me down? Because I'm on OBS.
Yeah, I can turn you down. Okay.
Alright.
Is this better?
Hello.
Hello.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, Jennifer. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Who else is here? Skip Floyd. Michael. Dank Moonblade.
Okay, so Skip Floyd has a question. Is Rome preventing the blood moon on purpose?
We think so. We're not sure how, though.
Okay, if so, why is Master Willem telling an unknown man/woman covered in blood that just shows up in front of him where Rom is? I think, okay, the way I took it is, like, people were like,
Yeah.
oh, Willem's telling you go to the lake, kill Rom, whatever. No, I think it's like a... at this point, Willem may have some cognitive issues, and, you know...
Oh, do you think so?
Maybe. And so what I think he's doing is he's just pointing at the moon, being like, oh, remember back in the day when we're just, like, did this thing, and...
Well, see,
I don't think he's telling you to go kill Rom. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because, Yuri in Bergenworth.
Mm-hmm.
She's near the note, and the note says, like, the spider... Basically leave the spider alone. We shouldn't be sharing what the spider knows. So clearly... I'm saying clearly, but, like, as far as I'm aware, Yuri must know Rom is down there if she's leaving a note warning us about the spider. And, Mensis also must know about Rom, because they've sent Damien to kill Rom. So, I don't know how, but I think you probably can go to and from Moonside Lake somehow, because they must know that she's there, and I don't know how else they would have known, unless they jumped down there. So Willem is probably, like, gesturing to her, like, yes, this is the thing that you seek. But I don't know. I don't think he expects us to kill Rom.
I
It's
don't
weird.
think so either, definitely.
Yeah. He may even be saying like have audience with Rom.
Maybe he's saying like, oh, there's this really cool student that I have. Her name is Rom. She's really nice. She baked a cake, and like go have some tea with her. She'll tell you so much. You'll learn so much, and then you go there and you kill her.
Mikolash is just fuming in the background.
Yes.
It's not that smart.
Dev said Willem is a snitch. Yes.
But yeah, the Rom Moon thing is... It's one of the things I would say, like, kind of on a bunch of levels, literally just doesn't make a great deal of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everything involving the Red Moon, the chronology of it, and the exact mechanics of how and why it happens is all over the place. And that's, to me, like, that's pretty much the only thing I think in the game you can straight up say doesn't really make a great deal of sense. Everything else sort of locks together, but like it's like how many times has there been 2 of these or 3 of these already? How is Rom blocking it? Did they know about it? When did she start blocking it? Did she turn into the spider because of the moon? Was the Red Moon over Old Yharnam the same as the Red Moon that created the dream? Because if that happens, then how does Jura know about the dream unless Jura was in the dream and then he went to Old Yharnam, and it's like all over the place.
Thank you, Richie. Alright, so I have more questions on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Adam says, is there any significance regarding the purple mist that appears in some places, like the wet nurse fight and around the Wandering Nightmares?
What do you think it is, then?
Powder?
Powder?
Yeah, because my boyfriend recently made a surprise, and he got this little kit that lets you make bubble tea. And it includes the boba that you gotta boil, and it also has the powder, like, and the taro powder is purple.
Okay, so it's taro powder.
It's taro powder.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
I think it's just like a visual effect as things are fading in and out. I don't know.
Like,
if
you
it's
don't think it's any like magic spell?
Well, yeah, it is, but I don't know what you'd say it is, because it's just like...
Well, that's the question, Richie. I said it's powder. What do you say it is?
Okay. It's like Nightmare Fog, but it's purple instead of white.
Thank you, Richie. Very good answer.
Thank you, Sin.
Deza Penguin asks... Can't see. Richie talked a bit about the One Reborn in the last AMA, and how it wasn't part of the original Mance's ritual plan, but something... Wait a minute. Maybe I can't see, not only because these glasses are not of a good quality, but because I'm actually technically supposed to be wearing glasses in real life.
Yeah.
Okay, got an idea. Where are my glasses? My real life glasses. Ugh. Okay, so I'm gonna put on my real life glasses.
I'll also change glasses.
And then I'll put on the dark glasses, so it's like double glasses.
So it'll be in focus, but still harder to see because it'll be dark.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it is actually, that helped. Okay. Okay, so One Reborn. You mentioned how it wasn't part of the original Mance's ritual plan, but something the Bell Maidens were doing after everything went to heck. But what actually is the One Reborn? What are the maidens trying to accomplish?
Okay, so I had this exact conversation with Acer 24 hours ago.
That's because Acer is making a very exciting video.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a video about Bloodborne.
Oh my god.
Exciting. Yes.
Yeah, we should do that one day.
No.
No. Yeah, it's a bit old. It's like fucking 6 years old. Shit.
Yes.
Okay, so the One Reborn is another thing that's like, I think the way it plays out now makes sense, but there's indications it was something more significant early on, because there's references to it as like someone who does Japanese like translations and stuff actually messaged me to say that like there's some references in there that make it sound like it's like a creation of a new god or the creation of a bodhisattva or something. But what One Reborn is, as far as we're concerned now, is that when you go into Yahagul after the Blood Moon, sorry, the Red Moon.
The Blood Moon.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead.
everyone's dead in Yargul. So everyone's dead. And that's why the enemies in Yargul are, you have the blood specter things that are summoned up out of the ground, because they're dead. That's just like, we're summoning these like dead people out of the ground, but the Bell Maidens are calling them. There's the werewolf things that are made of skin. Because, and if you look at where they're placed, they're around where dead snatchers are. So I think it's pretty clear from like the way that's designed, what's meant to have happened is the snatchers had all these dead bodies in their bags. And then the bodies came to life and killed them, and that's why they're crawling around where the dead snatchers are. Like, I think that's pretty clear. And then you have the cramped caskets, which are positioned so that they are at least initially in the main street area, they're leaping out of those hearses. Had the bodies in them. So it's like, okay, Yahar'gul's just full of dead shit, and it's all coming back to life again. As these, like, undead monstrosities and these, like, fusions of all these corpses stuck together. So one reborn is just a really, really big one that you meet at the very end. And it's really big, so it's, like, 6 Bell Maidens that are, like, high-ranking. Because they have the red, instead of the black cloak, so we can assume they're, like, a higher-ranking Bell Maiden. It's just a really big one. They just show up and a bunch of them perform that ritual. And instead of a little blob made of corpses, it's a big blob made of corpses. And presumably the corpses are all the people that were killed in the ritual but didn't fuse into the wall. So it's just that. It's possible at some point early on it was meant to be like, we're going to make our own great one. But I think it's just pretty cut and dried now, what it is.
And there's a follow-up question by John who says, who asks who the Bell Maidens align with.
Themselves.
I mean, we know for sure there's an item that says they're mad Thumerians or whatever.
Yeah, they're just Thumerians that are summoned when, like, they're like priestesses that use the bell. So when you ring the bell, it, like, resonates with their bell, and then, like, the same way that you can summon people. So, like, you ring a bell, and then they have the bell, and it's like, dong, 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 and then they just sort of, like, they literally, there's a gif of this on the Bloodborne wiki. I know because I made it. That, you see, like, when they're summoned, they just phase in. There's, like, this, like, cloud of smoke, and they sort of, like, rise up out of the ground. So they're just doing that. And, like, the Mensa's ritual, because it's, like, a giant ritual sacrifice, it's, like, messing with, like, space and time. It's just, like, a really big bell that summons a whole lot of them, because they're like, ooh, looks good.
Arthur is asking, bells, how do they work? Okay, so now that we did a couple of patron questions, we can take a couple of questions from the chat.
Okay.
Chat, is there a pressing question that has not yet been addressed in the podcasts that you really, really need to know the answer to help you sleep at night? There's a lag, so it's like the intensity of my...
Okay, I'll say hi to everyone. Hi,
Yes.
Cosmos Hero. Hi, Chad. Hi, General James. Hi, DevMech. Hi, Josh. Hi, Shogun. Hi, Skip Floyd. Hi, Arthur. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Eugenio. Hi, Emlyn. Okay, I think we have more questions.
Yeah, we have questions. So...
Okay.
Ryan is asking, do great ones pay taxes? That's a very good question, because we know that the amygdala is the ethics committee, so they have research, so they have audits, like research audits, so I'm sure
that's true.
We'll have to figure it out, because we actually just started a new patron series called Enemies of Demon Souls.
Oh, that. Well,
we just recorded it yesterday, Richard. You're like, oh, that, yes.
We didn't. What we recorded was.
Okay, no, it was. Oh my God, no! There was an episode where we make the outline.
What you hear now. This horrible argument. It's just that, but it goes for like 40 minutes.
First, we recorded the outline, so now we have a very professional outline that people contributed to, with questions such as, what is the enemy's postal code and what do they eat, as well as what their hobbies are. And then we recorded episode 1, Bolitarian Soldiers, or Solders, because I misspelled it, so now we're gonna call all soldiers Solders.
I have no say in this at all.
where we test out the outline and improve on it a little more. So we're gonna record episode 2 where we gonna improve the outline a little more before going to the actual enemies suggested.
So it's like a pilot episode, basically.
It's like a few pilot episodes, yes. Like 5 pilot episodes, I don't know. I don't know how movies work, Mr. Movie. I went to film school so I can judge Sin. Okay, Martin Scorsese. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Richie. Devon has a question. Could Vermin be a jab at the fans' penchant for endlessly generating lore theories and reaching for connections, however they see fit, regardless of anything that is factually conclusive?
I think what they're getting at is, like, because you have to have the rune to see them, so it's like, is this thing actually there or not?
But do you think Miyazaki was like,
no,
these fans are very weird, they do weird theories, so we're gonna make Vermin?
Is that your impression of Miyazaki?
Yes.
My fans are really weird, and I think that we should make some vermin because they're weird.
Yes.
So the thing about vermin is, like,
you know, the thing about Richie, it's like a yes or no question. Are you gonna go on a 4-hour tangent? I'm the one that goes on tangents. Richie's the one that goes on tangents. Why are people saying I'm the one that goes on? Well, clearly you're the one that goes on tangents.
It's a very nice pose. Could you hold that?
No! You bully!
So the thing about the vermin is that you can't see them unless you have the rune. But at the same time, even if you don't have the rune, things like Volta's eye melting and stuff, like, that still happens. Because, like, I talked about this, like, God, I think it was the first podcast I ever did with someone else, which was the duck feed one. Where, like, the way that it portrays the vermin is that, like, the vermin are a manifestation of what's wrong with you. So it's not like, oh, I accidentally got infected with vermin and now they're growing in my body. It's because I'm cursed, because I am sinful, because I'm developing this like, lust for blood, because I'm losing my reason. That takes the form of these centipedes that are in my body. I remember, actually, I said it's kind of like The Exorcist. Well, like, you know, have you seen The Exorcist?
Yes, I've seen The Exorcist. Oh my god, Richard, that is an exalting question. I love horror movies. Of course I've seen The stupid Exorcist. Go on.
Okay. You know how the kid in The Exorcist vomits green stuff, right?
No, because apparently, according to you, I've never seen it.
It was an open question.
Go on.
You know how the kid vomits green stuff in The Exorcist, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So, that's like, she's vomiting the green stuff, but you don't say, well, the problem with you is that you have too much green stuff in your body, we'd better get it out. It's that you're possessed, and that's manifesting as you vomiting green stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I see vermin as the same thing, that they're like really, really psychosomatic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like psychosomatic sin. Yeah.
Psychosomatic me?
I actually have a fair amount to say about vermin, but
we should do a podcast on vermin.
I'm going to.
Oh, Bloodborne Up Close? Or... which is... oh my god. I'm not gonna comment on Richie's snail pace of doing Bloodborne Up Closes. Because take your time. This is you.
No, they have to be done by, like, the end of March.
I feel like... I mean, I don't want to be negative, but will they be? I feel like you're setting yourself up for an unrealistic expectation. Because the secret is, what people don't know is that Richie actually... well, Richie went to film school or whatever, but Richie's also naturally talented for, like, talking and taking, like, fancy pictures and footage and editing them together. So he's really good at that, like, really, really good. But Rich is also a little bit of a procrastinator, because sometimes things that he's not 100% into may take a little longer.
You know what the other thing is, though? That those, like, Bloodborne Up Close things, the initial edits are like 2 hours long. And then I just go through them and I think, I don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
need that, don't need that. And then 75% of it gets removed.
Yeah, I was there, Richie.
That's why they take a long time, because I'm trying to, like...
Oh, are they as long as releasing
concise.
over 300 episodes of podcasts?
Yeah.
Are they, you know? Oh, because I mean,
Yeah, the
like,
podcasts...
in
The podcasts aren't... Okay, just go on. Whatever.
No, you were gonna say the podcasts
I was
don't
gonna-
require great editing. They do though. They do though.
I didn't say
And
it doesn't
they
make
do
any
though.
sense.
Audio editing and there's video editing. Some of them, like the recent Dark Souls one.
Yes,
yeah, I
yes,
just put
yep.
like footage in the back because
Yep.
I'm like, I don't have time to
Yeah.
play Dark Souls again. So unfortunately, we compromise. But a lot of them, I have to take pictures from different places. Yeah, when I really don't have energy to record friggin' 50 podcasts and edit them in 1 week. Yeah, I cut corners. I just like put her image of me eating and you're talking. Yeah, but again, if I had like one Bloodborne up close to do every 4 years, you think I wouldn't have done a good job?
I know you would have. I know you would.
Thank you, Richie.
It's alright.
Richie, do you hear something?
Is it E.T. calling me a bitch again?
Wait. Listen. Listen closely. Are you listening?
Yes, I am.
What is this?
I don't know what it is. Also, the problem is it's coming through in a very staccato way, so I actually can't hear. I just hear a series of hissing noises.
Oh yeah, you know what it is. Let me... If you heard it right, you would have recognized it.
I recognize this theme. Okay, so... oh, who's that?
Oh my god! Brutus! Hi!
Hello. Hello.
How are you doing today? What are you doing here?
I'm doing very well. I heard my theme and thought I'd show up.
Yeah, we're doing a Bloodborne AMA. With like the chat and Richie, it's really fun.
Oh, I seem to have met Richard.
Yeah, again, it's so weird.
He's
Yeah.
never here when I show up.
How strange.
Sometimes he doesn't like me.
No, you're his favorite.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to say?
Yes, I have a special message. This is a shout out from Autumnal Void to Brewdrag. Hello. And ma'am, can you please leave some cookies behind next time? Because Autumnal Void would like some cookies, and apparently you've eaten too many of them.
I think you can never eat too many cookies.
Just leave him some. It's a nice gesture.
Well, thank you, Brutus, for coming by.
Thank you.
Thank you for the shout out. And you have a good one.
Thank you.
I'll hazard
You
will
can-
mail a baby for
yeah.
me. Yeah.
You can Venmo me a baby if you want to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, what was that happened when I was getting something off the floor?
Who can say? Okay. Let's do another question by Desert Penguin. Desert Penguin is so nice. Like sometimes I post our like videos on Reddit or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, that's a really cool video. Everyone should check it out."
No, I remember Deso Penguin from like way back, like before I even made stuff, when I was just commenting on Aegon's videos.
It's very cool. The Snack Covenant is best community. Okay. Was the Blood Moon incident in Old Yarnum that resulted in the town having to be burned caused by Lawrence and friends summoning the moon presence? And what caused it to stop?
Okay, so we were talking about this before. We were like about Rom. The chronology of the Blood Moon in Old Yarnum is bizarre, and no one seems to actually, like, the game is inconsistent with it, so there kind of isn't a proper answer to it. because the issue is, like, we know there was a red moon over Old Yarnum, and it turned everyone into beasts, and the town had to be burned, and you can kind of assume that, like, where the blood-starved beast is, that was somehow involved in it, because that's where, like, this congregation of beasts gathered and were burned. And we know that, like, they probably intended something like this to happen because they had been pushing beast blood on the people in Old Yarnum. So we know that. The problem is, like, how many red moons have there been? Because if that's the same red moon that creates the Hunter's Dream, which seems fine, like, I don't have a problem with that happening, but it really messes up how Dura works, because Dura talks about the Hunter's Dream. He knows that the hunters can die and dream and dream again and dream again until they have completed, like, their contract till the night is over. He knows about that.
Mm-hmm.
And but, like, Old Yarnum's been boarded up. Hunters are not allowed there. So if he knows that, logically he must have gone through something similar, or at least witnessed it before Old Yarnum happened. But then at the same time, well, if that happened, then the red moon has to have happened before that. So it's, and also, like, Gurman knows about Old Yarnum, which is, there's, like, a grey area there, because, like, someone else could have told him because he's in the dream. Hunters are going back and forth from the dream. But Dura has sealed off Old Yarnum, like, specifically. So I don't know. Like, it's just a real mess. So then you almost have to say, well, were there three then? Was there one that created the Hunter's Dream, and then another one over Old Yarnum, and then ours? But then it's like, if there's three of them, that's seems like a lot for such a cataclysmic event to have happened two times before the game starts. The other weird thing about the Red Moon is that it happens in the workshop, but Yarnum seems to be fine. Like, you can say, okay, maybe it happened over Old Yarnum specifically, because there's, like, Advent Plaza in Yahagul, so it's okay, we'll call down this thing specifically in this one place. So maybe it just came down and just hit Old Yarnum. That's sort of doable, but then it's like, but you did it in the just cathedral ward, and that seems all right. Yeah, it's a very messed up continuity of events.
Thank you, Richie. I wanted to tell you something.
Okay.
When the Brutus theme started playing,
Yes.
so we have a lot of cultists in the chat today.
Aww.
Chad just said, "Oh boy." Ipsy said, "Where did Richie go?" Then Dev says, "Mug Brutus." Rafi says, "Brutus." Danielle said, "Brutus." General James said, "Brutus, I love you." Then Al-Hazri said, "Did anybody remember to bring a baby?"
Aww.
Then Eugenio says, "If Dignity City exists in Bloodborne, which, like, a Brutai is gonna be there, then, like, the good Richard was like, aren't you wearing the Brutus t-shirt, Rich? You wouldn't it have been easier to just stand up?" Then Demon says, "Meta Mug Brutus mug." Then Jennifer says, "One day I will capture Brutus's glory in crochet."
Aww.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, one of my resolutions for this year is to do crochet.
Oh, well, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just amazed. Can you imagine? It's like people had to have listened to all those podcasts and remember the lore.
I keep forgetting that other people hear this.
Yeah.
Because from my point of view,
yeah.
These aren't any different to the conversations we have normally.
Yeah.
That's why we can do so many of them, because every time we hit record, it's like this.
Yeah.
And I forget that, like, oh yeah, people are listening to this, aren't they? Because I just think of myself as talking to you.
Yeah, so thanks everyone. Thank you for listening and for your positivity. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's look at the next question.
I got a better heart.
Oh, you got a better heart? The green
Thank
one?
you.
Yes!
Yes.
Aw, very cute.
It's one of my pillows.
No. Okay. Then the next
Oh,
question
Jen-
is...
Jennifer,
Yes,
Jennifer's
yes.
offered to give me crochet tips. Thank you.
Oh my god, yes!
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you can crochet a Baby Yoda. And a Power
Oh,
Fist.
okay. I got a introductory crochet for kids thing from Kmart.
Aw.
So I have to start somewhere.
By the way, Richie, did you notice anything different in my background?
Yeah, you have a bear.
Where Baby Yoda
instead.
used to be. And the Dark Souls 2 guy. So, Dark
What
Souls
happened
2
to
guy...
Baby Yoda?
Well, okay, Dark Souls 2 guy has been demoted. And he's
no.
with this shelf now. Well, I don't know if it's demoted. He's chilling here now. Baby Yoda is over here. He's looking at me from the computer stand. Hello. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Baby Yoda. Oh my
Baby
god.
Yoda.
When I just got Baby Yoda, we had like a work meeting. And at the end of the meeting, I was like, I have something very important to say. Bye, everyone. My work is chill though, not like, oh, it's just Sinclair doing her thing again.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, what happened is my boyfriend's birthday was this week, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And,
it was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so he wanted, he's been talking about like wanting a Brotherhood of Steel banner.
Yeah.
But you can't just buy things from the Bethesda shop because it's like a $40 minimum like shipping.
Right.
Pretty much regardless of what you buy, it starts at like 40. So you can't just buy one thing. That makes no sense. So I'm like, okay, I'll wait for his birthday, and then on his birthday get a bunch of things from me and him, and this way it's worth it. So what I got was Comrade Bear over there. You can actually find Human Fallout 76.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a Care Bear. Yeah.
No. It's
No,
a Fallout Bear. Richie, do you not know me? Have I even spoken about Care Bears to you? Even though we did have them in the Soviet Union. No, it wasn't Care Bears, it was Gummy Bears. We may have had Care
They had
Bears
gummy
too.
bears, but not Care Bears in the Soviet Union.
Maybe we had both, but both were very confusing. I didn't know what's up
I
with the
would
bear
have put-
obsession.
I would have put my money on Care Bears because Gummy Bears is designed entirely to sell candy.
Yeah, and Gummy Bears did not exist in the Union, so I just thought it was a cartoon, and I was very surprised that candy was made after it when I came here.
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing I got... Where is it?
Mm-hmm.
Did I already? Anyway, I got a whole bunch of shit, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't go out. I didn't even go out before the pandemic. I don't spend money on many things, but I do have a penchant for Fallout merchandise. I got a little notebook. I got two actually because they were on sale for like $5 as opposed to 10, so I got two notebooks.
Yeah,
But they delivered one, and I had to email them being like, "Where's my other notebook?" And they're sending it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's just like really. But also, okay, another thing they had. Okay, this was a good steal. They have like this tissue paper, right? This, but it's like $5 each. There's a few inside, and I'm like, nobody's gonna pay $5 for this little tissue paper. And then they had it on sale for $2.50.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I should think about this. Like maybe it's worth.
Yeah.
And then they had it on sale for $1.
Oh my God.
And so I got 10. That's amazing. That's such a
Incredible.
steal. And now they don't have it in stock anymore. I think I bought all of them.
Wow.
And yeah, I got my boyfriend the banner as well as a mystery Brotherhood, a steel box. And it was cute. Also, I got they can send you get this thing where it's like a random T-shirt. That like it's less than like a T-shirt that you buy because it's random. You don't know what you're getting.
Right. Yeah.
And guess what T-shirt I randomly got?
Liberty Prime?
No. It's a T-shirt of the Vault Boy, but he has a broken arm and he's using a steam pack, and I'm like,
Oh, that's you.
yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I got more stuff. I just can't remember, and it's not around here, and I don't feel like going upstairs to check.
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
I think we should show my power fist again.
It's very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. I wish though that it was like real, so I could use it, but you can't. It's plastic. It's a little disappointing.
You're not allowed to use knives. I wouldn't trust you with a power fist.
Because you can use it to like make meat, you know, like.
No.
Like.
No, I
so
don't
it's...
think this is a good idea.
Or like spices instead of using a.
This is exactly what you would do if you were in Fallout. You just get I'm gonna make meat. You just smash a hole in something and there's like radiation leaking everywhere.
Thank you, Richie. Okay, we also have a Fallout cookbook, and I actually made mac and cheese from it, and it's very good. We should have a Fallout cooking episode. And you can cook
Can I
cakes.
just
No. Okay, what?
Why do you need a Fallout themed cookbook to tell you how to make mac and cheese?
Because it's Fallout themed special. It's a special.
What about it is different to regular mac and cheese?
It uses plutonium.
Now, Sin, I suspect that the real recipe didn't use real plutonium. That was something that was some...
It's okay, I got connections with Russia.
Oh, you do. So... So that we may need a new host soon, because Sin is ingesting plutonium.
That's true. That's true, actually. When's the new season of the Snack Covenant?
What is in the Fallout cookbook?
Just like, it's cool, it's just Fallout stuff. I'll show it next time. Next time we have a stream, I'll bring it
It's not-
down, I'll show it. It's very cool. It's Fallout. I love Fallout. Fallout is life. It's cool. I have a Fallout cookbook. Oh my god, it's like if they released a Bloodborne cookbook. You'd be all over it.
Yeah, I would.
There we go. Next question is by Derek.
Should I start cooking Bloodborne food?
Yes.
I made a batch of cookies with Carol runes on them. I can do that
Oh,
again.
that's cute. Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, Richie. Derek says, hello. Hi, Derek. I have a question
Derek.
related to the concept of layered worlds with an increased slowing of passage of time, as we see in the Chalice Dungeons and the Hunter's Nightmare. Previously, Richard appropriately called out the inspiration drawn from Junji Ito's Uzumaki. This is also a trope that applies to many folktales and fantasy world with respect to fairy realms, such as the work of C.S. Lewis, Jean Wolfe, etc., in which time slows dramatically in the real world despite spending significant time frames in the other realm. Is it possible Miyazaki drew some inspiration from these other more classic styles of Western stories in addition to Japanese sources such as Ito?
What do you think, Sin?
Yes.
Thank you, Sin.
What do you think, Richie?
Glad our patrons paid to get that answer.
And if you want to ask a question for a Bloodborne AMA,
Do you-
where do you go?
Reddit. Because...
Perfect.
Okay, you
Yes.
can go to Reddit to get an aggressive series of answers that end up downvoted and deleted 24 hours later. Or you can pay money for Sin to go, yes.
At least it's a positive yes, okay?
It's a positive yes.
Positive yes.
Okay, so my take on the reason it does the time thing, honestly, is it's a expediency thing, because it's like if you're doing a video game and it is about exploring a space and you then compress space and time so that they're kind of the same thing, then you can move through time without needing to, like the way Dark Souls does it, where it's like, oh, here's a hand comes out. It's like, I've got a pendant. Vroom. Oh, it's the past now. To actually make that like part of the game, part of the environment is moving backwards. It's almost like touring a museum or something. Like it's I don't think it's actually like drawn from a folktale. I know I said that about Canehurst, but that's when I didn't understand what the fuck Canehurst was. Because there's that famous Japanese story about the fisherman Tara the fisherman, who, he's a fisherman. He goes to this sort of undersea kingdom. He lives there for a while, and then he comes back, but he finds out hundreds and hundreds of years have passed on the surface, and he melts. He sort of just like disappears because he's old, so he turns into dust and sort of disappears. But like, I honestly think it is just like, well, we're doing a video game, so if we want to have you explore different time periods, just make the different time periods different areas, and just go with the sort of surreal dream logic that's holding everything together, rather than like a specific piece of inspiration. But yeah, Uzumaki's clearly part of it. Because like, that's like, if you are exploring ruins or exploring like an old place, you sort of are going back in time. Like, so they just make that literal. Like, there's underground ruins where I live. I've been there. I don't know if we've talked about this.
Did you encounter any Thumerians?
Well, there's fences up. You can't go beyond a certain point.
I feel like we talked about it, but you can say it again.
Okay, so where I live, it's an old gold mining town, and they had an underground series of like shops and things. That there were streets under the ground that, like, he was just like a street, and there's like shops and things along the sides of the street, but it was just buried. And then over time, they just built and built and built on top of this underground place. You can't really can't really go there anymore. But there, oh god, this is so Bloodborne. There's actually like an old like place, like not a university, but like a place of learning, Mechanics Institute. And if you go there and you go down to the basement, it connects to the old underground streets. And you can't go very far into them because they're blocked off. But you can actually just look out and see this, like this completely silent street with no sky and shops on either side of it that the miners used to use.
Thank you, Richie.
Thank you, Sin.
Cool. And then we have a question by another Derek. Miyazaki's obscured style of storytelling with minimal exposition of storytelling and the assumption of a keen eye from the reader to identify the story within the story within the story has a lot in common with the late author Gene Wolfe.
Yeah.
Curious as to whether either of you are familiar with his work and notice similarities. If unfamiliar, I highly recommend. I think Richard in particular would have an interesting perspective of pulling together the sub-narrative in his work.
See, I know who Gene Wolfe is, but I don't really read much, so I've not actually read anything specifically by Gene Wolfe.
Mm-hmm.
But I am familiar with the existence of the author Gene Wolfe.
I don't read. So.
You read Nightwatch.
It's funny, I did read it. I liked it as a, I guess, teen.
Yeah.
I was like super young when I read it.
Yeah.
But I reread the first chapter recently, and I was like, this is cringe. What?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what I actually think the big influence of Miyazaki is with that style of storytelling, is role-playing games. It's like pen and paper role-playing games, because he's said multiple times that like he was very heavily influenced by like fighting fantasy books. So like we've talked about it a bit before, but like fighting fantasy is a series of, they're halfway between like a choose your own adventure book and a single player tabletop RPG, where it's a book and you have to you change pages depending on what your character does. But you also have you have to keep track of your equipment and like inventory and gold and stuff and hit points to see how you're doing. And he specifically says, yeah, those are a big influence. And if you look through them, they were there's just stuff from the Souls games is just in them. He's just copied it.
Mm-hmm.
Down to like Loki was going through them actually. And he's like, hey, you know Vinheim is in one of these? And a bunch of character names and place names he's just taken wholesale from fighting fantasy. And I think that's also where his Lovecraft introduction might have been, because that's 70s and 80s role-playing games are very sort of incestuously connected. So, and the fiction and stuff's he clearly the way that at least Demon Souls is it's sword and sorcery. It's rather than high fantasy. There's a distinction there, and I think that distinction comes from his grounding being in, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain, rather than Lord of the Rings, if that makes sense. So the way that those RPG I don't have any on me that I can reach at the moment, but like they will have like, if you want to do a session set in this kingdom, here's just a bunch of information about this kingdom. There's no story, but here's a bunch of information. So it tells you like here's the knights, here's the sort of weapons they use, here's like a rough layout and everything. And the descriptions you get on the items in the Souls games that just say like, common sword found throughout this country, blah blah blah. That reads a lot like a source book. Mm-hmm. And I think it might come from that, with him like realizing that you can just chuck world building in like that descriptive text on that item and flesh out a kingdom that way instead of having like expository dialogue.
Cool. Thank you, Richie. And this is actually the last patron question we have on this page.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Saturnia. That sounds like a Sailor Scout. Saturnia. I love it. Okay. Hello, Sin and Richie. I have a question regarding Amygdala and the Amygdala statues. Outside of Patches and Nightmare Frontier, Amygdala had no real significance in the plot of Bloodborne, so it always surprised me that there are Amygdala statues all over the game, especially the position of the statue at the Hypogean Gao lamp struck me as odd. My question is whether Amygdala had a greater meaning in the earlier drafts of the story, or whether were they always these creatures that are drawn to eldritch events. And the reason the people of Yharnam build these statues is that they thought of Amygdalas as some kind of a harbinger of these harbinger of these eldritch events.
Sin, what do you think?
What do you think right now?
Well, no, because there's two parts to that. Because it's like, what do you think like of Amygdala now? And we'll talk about like what they old versions after that.
I mean, Amygdala now are just these like chill creatures and just hang out, and they're like, "Ooh, hunter." No.
You identify with them.
Yeah.
They just sit there all day, go, "Ooh."
Yes.
Having a snack.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that Mensis, you know how Mensis has statues of them or whatever, or at least one.
Yeah.
Like I think they just hyped the Amygdalas up a little bit. So it's like Amygdalas are just chill, and then one lives on the Nightmare Frontier, and they don't really bother anyone. One of them just shoots lasers, but it's like really random, like. So I feel like they're just chill creatures that are like saw something cool happening in Yharnam, and they're like, okay, we'll watch.
Yeah.
Like switch
You also
channel,
see them in Forbidden Woods.
Oh yeah, where?
Yeah.
Statues or the Amygdalas?
Yeah. Statues of Amygdala.
Okay,
They're in the Forbidden Woods. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel
and
like maybe you know what, Richie. You know what? What happened is people sometimes get enough insight, right? And so they look up and they're like, "Oh my God, the Amygdala!" And then Amygdala's like, "Hi," and they're like, "Oh my God, are you an amazing eldritch creature?" And Amygdala's like, "No, I'm just chilling." Like, "Oh no, you're not just chilling. We'll make statues of you." And Amygdala's like, "It's okay. I don't need it. I'm good. Oh, I'll pray to the Amygdala." And Amygdala's like, "Ah." I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, that's what happened.
That's true. That's true.
What do you think, Richie?
I was gonna say, like, the ones in Forbidden Woods are interesting because Amygdala heads look like morel mushrooms, and the ones in the woods are placed in clumps around the bases of trees, and there's like a lot of grass in the way. So if you're just running through, you might think, "Oh, those are just big mushrooms."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you look closer, you realize it's a statue of this thing. And like the woods is it's weird because the woods is, I want to say it's implied to be, but like it just is. The woods is the Bergenworth excavation of the Chalice dungeons. Presumably the Amygdala statues are from there. But you don't see amygdala statues in the actual dungeons. You only see the one amygdala as a boss. So it's a little
So
odd.
it gives more credit to my story, because in the dungeons the amygdala were
Yeah.
not a big deal. People made no statues of them. Okay, it's like, look, it's just the amygdala. It's no big deal. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
what happens is that amygdala goes on surface and they're invisible unless you have like what 50 inside or something, right?
40.
40, or if the red moon shows up. So imagine this,
Yeah.
because like, so you're like a regular person and you're chilling at like, I don't know, Odin's tomb, whatever, cathedral,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
all of a sudden red moon shows up, and then you see this giant monster staring at you, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
my god. Or for whatever reason you get enough insight, giant monster, and you assume that this giant monster is special and is important, because even if you have like a billion insight, unless you're like part of the healing church or you're in Bergenworth, you don't see any other great ones.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I think it is that. That's why they're everywhere, because as you start probing into the eldritch and like the sort of like the planes beyond reality, they're probably the first thing you hit.
Yeah, there might be
So,
the only thing
yeah.
you hit.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of are, because the other great ones are like a really big deal.
Well, the other great ones are also well hidden. Like, Moon Presence
Yeah.
only shows up when you perform a real baby, like a weird
Yeah.
baby ritual, and then
Yeah.
Ibriatus is stuck like under Bergenworth or whatever she's stuck, and then Rama's like in a friggin' lake that you can't get to, and then Orphan is in another parallel dimension, and it's like,
Yeah. I like it when you get it. I love it when you answer these things. I do. Because usually it's like, Richie, what do you think? And then I say when you go, aha. But then when you get really into it, you go, and then the orphan, and then like, amygdala, and then the amygdala comes out, and you do this whole little performance, and it's really cute, and I think you should do it more often.
thank you, Rita.
So the
yeah.
second part of the question, do you want to keep talking?
That's it. I'm good.
Okay, so the second part of the question was like, what was the role that the amygdala had originally?
Yeah.
And like, it does look like it was meant to be more significant early on. And they kept doing the final boss roulette thing, where they just sort of kept playing around with it. I can tell you that this is not like, they didn't change its function in this version. But there is another version of the game where the amygdala, the one in the Nightmare Frontier, appears by crawling over the rocks.
Yeah.
Instead of it being on the tower and fading in, its hands come up and it crawls over the front like that. But the animation is like messed up, and I think they did the fading because it was just like as a failsafe because they couldn't get the crawling to work. There's also, we've talked about this before as well, but there is well, it's not really unused, but amygdala has a passive pose, right? And you never really see it because the amygdala boss appears, so you don't run into it, like it's not just waiting there for you. And the ones in the chalices do it, but they snap out of it as you go through the fog, so you don't see the whole thing. But they're sitting like this, and they have a hand like that, and they're looking at it, and they're kind of going like this, like, and they're holding something, but whatever it is isn't. It's kind of like Oceros and Ocelot, like they're just holding something in their hand, and they're clearly looking at it, but we have no idea what it was. And like that might have been a baby. Like, you might have had to offer, like, they may have offered a child to the amygdala, and that's what it's holding. And also, like, the other thing that we know is that the amygdala taxi service, the amygduba, as Sin calls it,
The amygduber.
the thing that where you get grabbed and sent to the nightmare, that's not early on. Like, they don't. That came up with that much later on when they decided to kind of truncate the nightmare sequence and remove the part of Bergenworth. But that thing where they're sort of like going like this and grabbing you and looking at you and then putting you back down again, that's already in there. And there's also amygdala, and they have this is, again, it's not used, but like it's in the, I think it's in the files, definitely in the concept art. They have a really long finger, like a hook, Like
Yes,
it's
yeah.
like the normal amygdala hand, but one of their fingers is like twice long and it goes around like that. And that would work with the way they move their hand, like that's almost like they're fishing. They're sort of like
Excellent.
going, what is this? What is this? So there's something about them, but it's we don't know. But like, if anyone's like been following Lance, he said at some point fairly recently, like, I've got enough content to make like another 5 years worth of videos. He does,
Hmm.
and I've seen bits of it, and it is inevitable that like we do eventually dig up how the amygdala worked, but it's not going to be tonight.
Hmm.
But like the answers like likely are somewhere, and we probably can get to them. But like we'll see, it could take a while.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Richie. So I just posted a link in the chat. If anybody wants to join our Discord, you can do so through the link.
Mhm.
Oops. Oh no, I dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
But so we said we were gonna do it until 10:30. So since we covered all our patron questions, we can just chill for half an hour.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah. Well, if anyone's
take a
got
nap,
another question, I
grab
think
a
you should
snack.
take it. I wouldn't go that far.
I've been napping this entire time. You wouldn't know. I'm wearing dark glasses.
Has anyone noticed the parallels between Lovecraft, Amygdala, and Migo? Yeah, so like the Migo in Lovecraft, they're called fungi, but they're like sentient beings. They're sort of like a moth bug thing, and they cut your brain out and put it in a cylinder, and they take your brain to another planet. And like that's kind of what Amygdala do, but like I remember in the when Bloodborne first came out and people were just coming up with names for things and not saying this wasn't the official name and everyone getting really confused. The belief on Thextra was that the enemy we call Garden of Eyes now was called Amigo Zombie. So you'll still sometimes see people calling them Amigo Zombie instead of the Garden of Eyes. Because they look a lot
Wait,
like
a
Amigo
what
as well.
zombie?
Migo. MI-GO.
What is that?
I just said what it was.
What does it mean, the word?
That's its name.
No, but what is it?
It's like
my God.
Cthulhu. It's a weird name.
I can't with Richie sometimes. I love you, but sometimes I can't with you.
Okay, let's say okay. Migo is just the name.
I know, but
It's
what
like,
does it
yes,
mean?
Doesn't mean anything. It's eldritch.
No, it means something. Like names mean something. Like Richard means something. Like I don't know, an angel from outer space. Like whatever.
What does like? It's Lovecraftian eldritch names. Like it's just Amigo. It's its name.
No, it means something.
Are you setting up for a joke where it's something about the word amigo?
What word?
Like amigo, like friend?
No.
No.
But I did mishear it as amigo the first time, and then you explained that it's migo, and then I asked you, well, what does that mean? And then you repeated that it's its name, which I already know, and I just wanted to know the definition of the word. And then you said names have no meanings, which is factually false. Like every single name has a meaning.
You know, the worst part was I was about to say, like, it doesn't mean anything, like how Cthulhu doesn't mean anything, but then I realized, like,
something.
It's like, I think he may have got part of it from the word chthonic.
There you go. You just played yourself.
I know. I like how your victory face is just... it's like a petulant child. I was right.
Thank you, Richie. So what were you saying about Garden of Ice? Where was this going?
But when Bloodborne first came out, people were calling Garden of Ice Migo, and it stuck for a very long time.
Oh.
People thought it was the official name. Yeah.
There's a restaurant here called The Three Amigos. It's very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very good.
Good.
Haven't
Good.
been in a restaurant for a while because we've been, pandemic.
Yeah.
But I did finally get sushi like last week. First time in a friggin' year.
That's very good.
I'm
I'm
so
very happy for
happy.
you.
It was very good. But I
Yeah.
also, I don't know if I forgot. It's been a stressful year. Rich, I have a bazooka. I can make my own sushi.
Oh, you mean the
Yeah.
kitchen thing? Okay, I thought you meant like a Fallout. Like I got a replica bazooka.
10-year bazooka.
God.
Yeah, and it's really cool. And I
Mhm.
I remembered, and then I was like, when we order groceries, boyfriend, order some avocados, please.
That! Did I remember? And then that led to you getting sushi.
No, focus, Richie. I got avocados. You can make avocado sushi, and my mom knows this place where you can get fresh fish, so I can actually make like fish sushi, and I'm pretty sure I won't poison myself.
Yeah. My New Year's resolution for last year was to learn to make sushi, and I didn't.
It's like you
Well,
just gotta have the
I'm
right
gonna-
ingredients, and then you gotta either get
Yeah.
good at rolling it, and I tried, and
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm
yeah.
not arts and crafts. I can't. So I got the
Sushi
bazooka.
is arts and crafts.
Yes, because you gotta roll it skillfully. They all end up looking like I guess I pressed too hard. They're like like that. So the bazooka makes it more uniform, and then you roll it. Like it's good practice.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't have sushi rice. I'm out of sushi rice, but that's okay. I can use like regular rice, whatever. It's practice. It's fine.
Good. Are there any questions in the chat?
Yes, Danielle said, I thought Sin had a bazooka. Dev says, making your own sushi at home is really easy and fun. Devon says,
Okay.
are you implying that Miyazaki is creatively stagnating his own personal hell? Whoa! And then Dev says, you need a rolling mat. I have a rolling mat. Oh, another thing my boyfriend got me, that was a couple of years ago. I don't know if he would have gotten it for me now. He it's like a really cool, fancy, like super sharp sushi knife.
Right.
But it's still like when I used it a couple of times, and then like I wipe it and I put it back in the box. I could use that. I don't think he remembers that I have it, and I have it on a shelf that I can reach. Okay. Let me scroll up and see if there are any. By the way, if you guys have any Bloodborne questions, you can post them in chat. We may miss them, but it's not on purpose. It's because we're like.
There's one in
talking.
chat right now.
Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
You missed it because you're talking about sushi knives.
What is the question?
Thank you, Sin. The question is, why would the minister at the start say, you may think it all a mere bad dream unless we came to become a hunter?
I think it's just the minister's just messing with you. I don't think the minister knows anything about dreams and the outer world, nightmares, and anything. It's just like, oh, well, we're gonna, like, give you a shot. Don't worry, you're gonna, like, pass out for a day. Think of it as a bad dream. He's, like, trying to make you more comfortable. But then turns out...
Do you really describe him as trying to make you more comfortable?
Yeah. Yeah, he's talking very calmly, and he's, like, explaining the procedure, and he's like, first we gotta sign a contract, which you mentioned is a consent form. So it's like, it's like, I guess, because this is a game, right? So you can't, like...
You're applying your own experience to this as
Yes!
someone who has to...
Yeah, as a research assistant, because, like, normally, like, it depends what is part of your job, but, like,
Right.
At a lab I used to work in, even though people signed, like, a consent form when they want to do the study, they also had to sign a consent form every time they came in, right? Because they were gonna do an MRI, and it's just like to remind them, like, okay, this is what it's gonna go like, that's what it's like, and like, because it can be a scary experience. You're like stuck in a little tube with this big machine going.
Yeah. I've had an MRI.
Yeah. So I did a few for research, and like obviously I've seen a lot of them because of my work.
Can I explain to you how not to make someone comfortable? Because this happened to me.
Yeah.
get their secretary to give you a piece of paper that says you need an MRI, might be a tumor, and don't elaborate further. Hmm.
Was that the one a couple of years ago or whatever?
It was late 2019. It was
Yeah.
basically like I came out of the office, and you have to imagine this is the phone. And she's looking, it's like, yes, gonna need an MRI, might be a tumor. So when can we see you again?
I remember I was very scared. We were very scared during that time, but it turned out okay.
Well, maybe just be a bit. You know, you could have told me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a. Don't get the secretary to tell me on the way out.
It's true.
After I can't say, excuse me, what to you.
Excuse me, what? Yeah. Yeah. But as I was saying, back to good like practices. Because I used to work with an MRI technician, and she was so good at her job. She was excellent, and she would try to put people at ease. She would talk like very calmly. She would talk slowly. She would be like, okay, now, like, you know, you have to go here. Now I'm gonna put, and she would explain one of the important things that she did, which, because I also worked with some other technicians, which were like, oh my god, why did you say that to the participant? Oh my god, why are you putting pillows around their heads without explaining what it is? They're scared, like you're scaring a human. So anyway, so she would be like, because you have to put cushions around your head, right? So your head doesn't move. So it's like, she'd be like that. And she's like, I'm gonna put a blanket over you so you're not cold. And if you're cold, let me know. I'll give you another blanket. And it was very like procedural. It was very good. So by the time, you know, the participant gets into the machine, they're much more calm than if somebody just shoves them in there. So I think that's what the minister is trying to do. He's just like, oh, hi, old blood or whatever, pale blood. Did you ask him about pale blood? I forget.
Yeah, you do, because that's why he's like, oh, well, pale blood, I go...
So he's trying to, again, make you comfortable instead of being like, I don't know. He's like, oh, well, you know, you probably find your entrance.
Yeah, he's like, I've got Spotify, do you have any requests?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happened with me.
Well, you're in the MRI?
Yeah, they had Spotify in the MRI. So they were like, do you have any requests? And then they put that on while I was in the MRI.
But then they'd have to play it in your headphones, right?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
No, they played it through the like machine somehow.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
so I just
didn't
zoned
have
out.
headphones?
I don't remember. It was a while ago.
I think you may have had like little.
The most important thing is I don't have a tumor. That was the most important part of it.
Richie. Yes. But yeah. Also, okay, important thing, never bring anything metal in the MRI room. Because it's like, it's a giant magnet, and it'll... When we were doing, like, our training, there was an informational video where they're like, we're now gonna put a melon in the MRI. And they put a melon, like, we're now gonna walk in the MRI with scissors! And then the next thing you see is those scissors just, like, go and, like, pierce the melon. And you're like, this is why you don't bring metal things in MRI. Like, you could literally kill someone. It was. You
also have to tell them if you've got fillings or braces.
Yeah, you also, like, there's certain, like, stems that, not good.
Yeah.
Sometimes tattoos, too. Depends. I think if it's a fresh tattoo.
I'll probably get a Bloodborne tattoo later this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's true, you told me about it. How? Okay,
yeah,
Sorry, wearing two glasses. It's taking its toll. Oh, it's very uncomfortable. Okay, go on. Yeah, your tattoo.
I was going to say I'm probably going to get one. I was going to get one last year, but then COVID happened. And everywhere was closed. But I might, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Can you tell... Do you want to tell us more?
Well, no, I just thought, like, I've been through a lot of extremely painful procedures, so I'm reasonably sure that I could go through a tattoo and not be, like, traumatized by it. I've had a lot of needles stuck in me already, so it's nothing new. And, I don't even, like... It's not like I'm a massive, like, obsessive fan. I know that sounds odd. But, like, it's really just that everyone I'm friends with, bar literally 3 people, at the moment are people I've met through Souls. So essentially, my entire peer group is like just Bloodborne people. But we don't just talk about that; we're just friends, and it feels like that's a good way to like say, yeah, this is how I met all my friends.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
Very, very cute. Yeah, like...
Yeah, so I'll probably just get one like on the like shoulder or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Very,
my
very
hair's
cute.
long enough that it'll cover it anyway. So yeah.
Oh, very cool. I'm not into tattoos. Like, I'm...
Yeah.
I guess indifferent, but if I had a little bit of inclination, I feel like I'd be covered in fallout. Devon says, lore is a gateway to relationships. Aww.
Well, I know a few couples who got together through Souls.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
you and your boyfriend are together through Fallout.
Fallout, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know Bloodborne through your boyfriend. So
yes! Literally!
the entire podcast can be traced back to Todd Howard.
Oh, yes.
He's a little angel that brought us all together.
Thank you, Todd. Zach says, hi, Richie. Hi, Sin.
Hi.
Everyone.
Hi, everyone.
By the way, Discord link, I'll post it again, because we're gonna do a remake of the Thumerian podcast.
Remake.
Yes. And
Yeah.
what we're gonna do is, okay, how it's gonna work is that after we record the remake... Oh, hi, Dalek! Dalek says hi.
Hey, Dalek!
He,
Oh, okay, hi, hang on. Sorry, you missed the unboxing of your thing, but here it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dalek. Thank you for the donation.
We might stream it
Yeah.
next time we do it. It's got an HDMI out, so
Rocking the Nick Cave
just
hair.
plug it into the capture card.
Yay! So yeah, I was saying, okay, how it's gonna go is because we're gonna record a new Thumerian podcast. And, like, I already made the outline, but I also, on Discord, asked people if they have any questions about Thumerians, so we will incorporate it too. So if you have questions about Thumerians, you can go on Discord, and there's, like, a section, and you can post them there.
You look a bit like a Thumerian now, I've just realized.
Oh, yeah?
Because you've got, like, the blue light on your face and the big sunglasses, so it's sort of like...
Oh, yes, the big sunglasses, the staple of Thumerians.
No, because they have the big black eyes.
It was a joke.
You just need a skull.
Do I have a skull? I feel like I had a skull at some point.
Uh-huh.
In
There's a
my
question in chat about weapon damage types.
Okay.
We could do that.
Richie, go ahead.
Okay. Is there a particular reason that enemies in Bloodborne take extra damage from certain types of weapon? Sin.
Say that again?
You know how in Bloodborne there's like serrated and righteous weapons, and enemies take different. What do you think the reason is?
Because they're different weapons.
Thank you, Sin.
I don't understand the question. What?
They're like, why is that? Like, why is there
Oh,
certain,
like, is it like why are some enemies weak to lighting?
Yes. Well, not like, no, not because lightning and arcane and stuff are elements. This is serrated and righteous.
Well, I think it has to do with the weapon. Like, some of them are sharper, so it's like sharper. Some of them are more blunt, so it's like blunt. Is that? Did I get it?
If you want.
Some of them are a pizza cutter.
Yeah. So the pizza cut is serrated. So that means it does bonus damage to beasts.
I'm gonna say something really embarrassing.
Certainly.
What does serrated mean again?
Like with like little like a knife with like the little cuts along like the little blades along it. Serrated.
Yeah, so
like
okay,
not
so,
not a smooth
so
blade,
the weapon
like
is serrated, and it does serrated
Yeah.
damage.
No, because like beasts take damage from serrated, right?
Okay, yeah.
Above anything else.
Okay.
So if you have a serrated weapon, it's always going to do more damage to beasts on top of everything else. And there's also a modifier called righteous,
Okay.
and that does more damage, but only to a very small number of things.
Like what? And what
Oh,
kind of
they're all
weapons
like,
are righteous? Sorry, what
they're
are
like the
righteous?
the threaded
Threaded
cane,
okay.
the Ludwig's holy blade, the moonlight sword.
And
I
that does more
think
damage to what?
basically shit from Canehurst.
Okay,
So like it's a
so
very small number of things, but
okay,
like the
so
ghosts
serrated
and
is because the beast's skin and composition is a bit different from human, and it is such that the hunters figure out that serrated weapons do more damage on beasts because of
yeah,
their consistency.
yeah, they say that, yeah, yeah.
And then the Kindhurst thing is because
The church hate Canehurst
yeah, but it doesn't explain like why the weapon itself does more damage.
because it's like vampire hunting gear.
Yeah, so again, I guess it's the same thing. Like they killed a lot of like vampires, and they realized, okay, these are the weapons that do the most damage, and they call them righteous weapons. You know.
I think, but they're like blessed by the church or something. It makes them special.
But you just said it doesn't work that way. When I said
What?
lighting, you said it doesn't. No, you're talking about what? Are they saying they're magical weapons, or?
Oh, there's something about them that's like blessed by the church to make
But are
them.
they okay? My question is yes or no. Are they magical weapons or are they regular weapons?
They're regular weapons.
And they do more damage to Valbloods.
Yes.
But
Yes.
if they're regular weapons, whether or not they're blessed, it doesn't matter because they're not magical. Like blessing does not make them magical. So that
But that was the question.
so
that
that
was the
means
question.
that. But that's what you just said. So that means that. Again, it's the same situation where these like there's a certain type of weapons that kill vampires. So they just call them righteous and then bless them. It's like after the fact, you know. It's not because they
Okay.
bless them that they're special in the world of Bloodborne. It's like you know.
Okay. Okay.
What do you think?
I think it's something to do with the composition of the weapon, yeah.
Okay.
Because if you think about like the way it's drawing on vampire lore and werewolf lore, like it's quicksilver bullets because of the whole thing about like the werewolves and silver bullets. That's sort of where I think that comes from. And I think the idea is like the threaded cane is blessed, and it's almost like that's like a stake you could stick in something. So I think there's something like holy about the church's weapons, above and beyond other properties they have, but I'm not entirely sure. The thing is that the Holy Moonlight Sword,
Mm-hmm.
that has the righteous property, and Ludwig found that. So it's not clear if like that was righteous when he found it or it became righteous
But
later
he found
on.
it in the dungeons, right?
Yeah. So
Thumerians
the
are
church
in the
didn't make it.
dungeons.
Yes, yeah,
And
that's what I'm getting at.
Valbuds are descendants of Thumerians. And this sword could have been
Yes.
used in Thumerians fighting each other. Therefore, they had to make weapons that are very efficient against like Thumerians.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
why it's efficient against Valbuds.
Okay. So there's a question here. Uncle Brady wants to know what's the best chalice for strength and skill gems. Go to Bloodborne-wiki, because I can't off the top of my head. But if you go to Bloodborne-wiki, there is a gigantic list of like chalices, and that they will give you like here is where to find the whatever gems you want. Like there are specific ones that are, like they've actually been artificially created by people from Tomb Prospectors using save editing stuff
I
to get
posted
like specific kinds of gems.
Bloodborne-wiki in chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay.
It's an excellent resource. Yeah.
If you go there and you go, there's a page called Best Blood Gem Setups. If you go there, then look for strength and skill, and you can just follow it back, and it'll say if you want the best strength and skill setup, use these gems, and you find them in this chalice. That's how you do it. But it's not guaranteed. Like I was farming adept gems once, and they had a really low drop rate, even with like. It was really hard to get adept gems. I was just killing the same merciless watchers like over and over for hours till I got one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how you do it, yeah.
Devon says the amygdala arm is strong against amygdala because they have low self-esteem. Po amygdala.
Do you use the amygdala arm a lot?
No.
Mm.
Do you?
I like it. Yeah, it's really
Yeah?
good.
Why?
Because it's got if it has an initial impact hit with its R2, it hits, and then after it's hit, like you mentioned, my arm is the amygdala arm. It goes like this, and then it goes like it twitches. And each of those twitches is a separate hit.
Mm-hmm.
So you can stun lock things with it. Like if there's someone attacking, go whack, and they'll get hit, and then as they recoil, it's like, and they get a bunch of extra hits in there.
Cool. Look,
Yeah.
I'm trying a new look. It's a hood.
Oh.
I look like a celestial because of my headphones. Awesome. It's a celestial look. Okay.
Mm.
Are there any more questions about Bloodborne?
Do you think the world of Bloodborne has invented the Steam engine, or is using Steam? I think that's interesting because, like, people call Bloodborne steampunk all the time. But if you look at it, there actually isn't any evidence of using, like, Steam engines in it.
Unless
It's
the
all hops and
orphanage...
parts.
Richie, the orphanage third floor, maybe they're inventing steam engines. That's
Well,
where the smoke is coming from.
I can follow up on that.
Okay.
I can follow up on that.
Yes.
Because in the really old layouts of Yharnam that we have, there is a big factory, or at least something that looks like a factory.
Yeah.
That it just looks like a Victorian, like, big, like, all these big smokestacks coming out the top.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the notion of, like, a factory with a ton of smokestacks at some point metamorphosed into Upper Cathedral Ward smokestacks, like that set piece, like that specific look of the things bellowing out the smoke. But yeah, this factory, it's on the other side of Yharnam to the cathedral. You should probably just stream it one day, just going through all these old maps. Again. But it's just a big bunch of... It looks like, you know, in Soul Reaver?
Yes.
There's like the factory in that. It
Yeah.
kind of looks... It has no textures, but it's sort of reminiscent of that. And it's on the other side of Yharnam. It's roughly where... trying to think of, like, if you imagine, like, when you're on the Great Bridge, you look forward to the cathedral. The smokestacks would be kind of off to the side of where the aqueduct is. They're, like, not opposite it, but, like, on the other side and a bit off to, like, the... If you're facing it, they'd be off to the left. So it's... And, like, you can go inside this thing and look around. Actually, I realized something.
Yes. What did you read?
I just had a brain.
You just had a vision. Oh.
Because those old Bloodborne maps, they're just OBJ files. So I can just put those files in a game engine and generate a collision mesh based on the mesh and actually just walk around them. Alright, we'll do that one day.
Perfect.
I'll just I'll put it in the engine I'm working on for something else, and we can go and look around.
Yay.
Just make it so you can fly, and we'll just fly through everything.
Okay, so it's 10:25, and we end in 5 minutes. So
Okay.
let's do the cooldown before we.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Someone's asking the same question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was Cain's Blood forbidden for political reasons? Because Alfred's like, the blood is forbidden, but we also know that, like, the blood
is forbidden. Blood, blah blah blah, blood is forbidden. My name is. Take it away, Richie.
I don't know what you're doing.
Blood is forbidden. Blood, blah blah blah, blood is forbidden.
If this song came out after, like, if this came out after about, like, 2001, I'll have no idea what it is.
Because we are the Aqua Team.
Oh, okay.
You know that? Aqua...
I know it exists. I know it exists, I never watched it.
I saw it a long time ago.
I never watched it, and... Okay, this is like a little side... I'll go off on a tangent. Alright. I never watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and I was friends with a guy in America at the time it was on, and he would just repeat jokes to it from me. Jokes from it to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had no context, and I thought he's coming up with these himself.
Okay. Did
This
they make
guy's amazing.
sense?
No, and I'm like, wow, this guy's really funny. He's coming up with all this non sequitur, like, comedy stuff. And I was, This is just because I don't have Adult Swim, and you're just
Aw.
repeating things you've seen on it. That guy, his sole original contribution was he typed entirely in capitals with no punctuation, as in character as a man called Max Applesauce, who yelled like "Hiya, jump kick" constantly, and that's forgivable at the time because it was the mid 2000s and everyone was a bit raw. I'm feeling random. But he continues to do this at least to February 2020, I think, was the most recent Max Applesauce thing, and he's not come up with a single new joke in the intervening 15 years.
Thank you, Richie. Okay, now
Yeah,
let's get back
so-
to the question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Kanehurst Blood Forbidden thing is like, it's really odd because we think it is a political thing because the church are the ones that attack Kanehurst. But at the same time, like, they seem to want the Kanehurst blood. But at the same time, Adela, who's part of the church, like, she will kill Ariana because you're like, your blood is tainted. So I think what happened is that, like, they might see Kanehurst as a kind of failed experiment in the same way that old Yharnam is.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, they introduced the blood into Kanehurst. Kanehurst sort of, it went right in the sense that they got a child out of it, but it also went wrong because there's something about the vile blood that makes it incompatible, like they don't want it around or something. And that's why but the problem is, like, Ariana has that blood and she's just normal, apart from the Erden thing. But you'd think that they want the Erden thing, because that would be a way to get a child. So it's a bit, I think it is, a lot of the Kanehurst stuff does seem to be propaganda from the church. This is the confusing thing about how many revisions this went through. Because if you take everything apart, it's all there that the church, like, Kanehurst were the victims of the church. The church then came up with this story about how they're all terrible, and Alfred believes that. But the story they're telling isn't exactly 100%. It's not a lie. It's a lie by omission. Because they say, like, a scholar of Bergenworth brought the blood to Kanehurst. They don't mention the scholar from Bergenworth was the head of the healing church at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff like that. And, like, they'll say, well, Alfred will say, well, the healing church have declared Forbidden Woods to be somewhere not allowed to go. True, but at the same time, Willem also forbid the healing church from going there. It's like, it's this, with Alfred, there's his constant, like, the information he has isn't technically untrue. It's just he's only gotten very specific parts of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually... Oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, so the notion of the Kanehurst blood somehow threatening the purity of Yharnam blood is probably true. But we don't know exactly how, because the Kanehurst thing is so truncated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Dev points out Alfred is basically Bloodborne QAnon.
What's that?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Okay, so I wanted to tell people, on the channel, if you go just, like, on the screen, I don't know, the main dashboard, like, if you go to youtube.com/SinclairLore, to the right, there's a search bar, and they hit it all the way to the right. I don't know why, you can't even see it. But if you go there and you type something, you can actually see all the podcasts that kind of talk about it. So if you type, like, Lawrence, Kanehurst, you can see what pops up. So I would like...
You type Kanehurst, you get about 50, I think.
You what?
I think you get a lot. Is Kanehurst, like, the greatest ratio of, like, actual game space to discussion that we've ever gotten? This
Maybe.
area that takes 5 minutes to run through, that we've been arguing about for 5 years.
Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, what I was saying, so you can find a lot of things this way. We also have playlists that I'm gonna expand on, because we already have like 30 playlists, but I'm gonna try to do, I guess, more, so that things are more organized.
Yeah,
There's also one giant playlist, if you want to just have it on repeat, and, like, you can do that. But, like, there were some questions. I found the Lawrence podcast, I pasted it now, which could help with answering some of them. We also did, I'll post the Executioner podcast,
Yeah. Which one?
The edited
Remember,
long one.
there's there's the Executioner podcast, another one, and then the like we understand how executioners work now one that's like an addendum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then there's the Nightmare Executioners one. So I'll post
Yeah.
all of those. So like if anybody still has what happened? Did I freeze? Okay. So if you still have questions, because we gotta start wrapping up, like check those out.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing, Rich and I will try to do these on a regular basis. These streams. You don't give me that face. You suggested it. I love Richie. I love how he's trying to make me look like the crazy one. You're the one that says that we should try to do it at a regular time, scheduled time. So we're gonna try to do that. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Another thing is this. Thank you to everyone for coming to the stream and sticking around till the end.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm gonna post. I posted a link. This is an unlisted link that's usually found on Patreon, and we talk about the lake rune here. So like bookmark it, and then you can watch it anytime. It's unlisted, but if you bookmark it, you can watch it.
Yeah, there's a lot of unlisted videos that are available. Is it the $2 tier?
Oh god, yeah. There's 100 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if you're on the Patreon $2 tier, you just get a giant list of links to all of the.
You know what? I'll actually post that. That's a good idea. Because Patreon is not very like they're still working on this stuff, so they're not very conducive if you have a lot of content. So I actually tagged things. So when you go there, when you sign up, there are tags, so you can search by tags. I had to tag like 400 things. Thank you, Patreon, for implementing this like 2 years into our Patreon. And also, I made a post that has like all the things outlined. So if you go there and you want to see exactly what's on like the $2 tier, it's all there with like, and you can click every link to see exactly what's in it. I would actually, current patrons, I would actually recommend looking at it because you may actually not know that we have things that are older, but you can see them in this post.
Yes.
Okay.
If you wanted, you could pledge $2 once, get access to that link, and then delete it. And then you've got all of that for $2.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do.
It's true.
Also, Sin writes the names of everyone who donates in every video.
Forever,
even if you,
yeah.
Even if you only donate once, your name is there forever. So you could make a Patreon account that's just called like Richie and Sin are e-begging thoughts, and that would just be in every video forever from that point on.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Like I may have to change that next year or something because it's getting long. But like, for at least for like previous people and this year, if like your name is there forever.
Yeah.
What else? So Discord, I posted a link. I told people about the search bar.
Yeah.
Oh, we also have, if anybody is new, we also have like various playlists such as like anime, cryptids, so you can see that if you go under playlists. There's a bunch there. Dignity City University, that's a good one.
Yeah.
We also played iHunt, which was our first tabletop RPG.
Yeah.
It's also a playlist as well as videos.
I like the idea that if anyone new is here, that like this is someone's first exposure. I'm just thinking like, are they all right? I've heard things about them, but they don't seem to be able to do it. Something wrong. Has there been a mistake?
Aww. And also I'm just gonna post another link. This is the one I talked about, where it's like everything in a playlist.
Yeah.
So some people said it's a very good playlist to do chores to, because you can just put it on in the background and it never ends.
Yeah. I think if we have accomplished anything, it's providing something you can have in the background while you do something else.
Yeah.
Our accomplishment.
That's the best kind of stuff, because I have, like, when I do chores, I need something in the background, but I also don't want to watch things without my boyfriend. So I have to specifically seek out things that are not good. So I have to be like, okay, what are the worst horror movies on Netflix? Okay, 3 out of 10 sounds good. You know? And this is all a 3 out of 10, so you can watch it alone. It doesn't matter.
I'll talk to you later on about a 3 out of 10 movie on Netflix.
Okay. what else? Oh, okay, we can talk about things coming up. So, coming up, we're gonna record. Why are you doing that face? It's things you know, you doom doom. So, coming up, we're gonna record something with Acer.
Yes.
It's once I finish Amnesia Machine for Pigs, we're gonna talk about that. We're also gonna
Okay.
record stuff for his channel. So that's exciting. Also, we've been preparing our characters for.
Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh my god! Yeah, so that's coming up. We're gonna start that
And
at some point.
Sin, who is running the Vampire the Masquerade game?
Well, no other than this magical
Al
cube.
Hazred.
Yes,
Yeah.
Al Hazred. He's really good
Yeah.
though. He's super
He is.
smart,
Yes,
so creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were making the characters, because I'm not imaginative like you people. So I like, I don't know, we should prefer, like, and he would
I
actually
can
have,
confirm she actually was going when asked questions.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so he had like really good suggestions, and then like how does that fit into like the whole thing? It was really cool.
Yeah.
What else is coming up? Oh yeah, finally. Okay, this is on me because sometimes I have ideas that are a little too complex. So about like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe more, I was like talking to Jake the Hollow, the Ashen Hollow, and I was like, hey,
Yeah.
we should do a podcast because you really like Alien and like scary stuff, and I love Alien, so I'm gonna play Alien Isolation, and we can do a podcast on it. But after I played it once,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, this ends with you not playing Alien.
It was
then,
too scary.
Like, it's
It was
pointless.
so scary, and so that was
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
and so I just messaged Jake recently, like, listen, I don't know when this is gonna happen. I am chicken. I don't know. So how about we just talk about Dark Souls? And he's like, yeah, that sounds cool. So we're gonna record that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I was gonna say that I have Alien Isolation.
well, okay, after we record Dark Souls, maybe we can finally play Alien Isolation, and we do that after.
Okay.
And yeah, we have a couple more things that we were supposed to do like last year. Some people were supposed to have on, but it's like it's been a little crazy year, so we're gonna have them on this year.
Yeah. And
yeah.
are we gonna do another eye hunt?
Yeah, that's another thing we're trying to schedule. Another eye hunt. Exact log.
You want to do more tabletop stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will
Warhammer.
get on that. Yeah. We'll probably do one Warhammer thing, but like I don't think that's because Warhammer is so expensive that I'm not gonna. I played Warhammer when I was like in my like teens to 20s. I don't think we'll be getting back into that fully just because of the cost, but like I will probably do some smaller games of that and some larger games of other systems that don't cost $700 per army. But yeah, I bought some like but if people know Kill Team, we'll basically just do Kill Team because that's a small number of models.
Okay.
And I can build some nice futuristic terrain. Yeah, Devin's asking, were we going to do BESM? We were going to do BESM because Philomena knew it, but then it's like, well, Philomena actually just made a game.
Yeah.
So just play that one.
Yeah, because
we could.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say like we could do BESM, but I think like it would be exactly the same as iHunt maybe if we did it, unless. Oh, you could use it to do Reborn though. That's the thing.
Demon.
You...
Oh, another thing that I'm working on. Okay, so you reminded me. So people who are following our Reborn podcast may have noticed that it's like, where did all the episode by episode podcast of Reborn go?
People are really wondering that. Just like, God, where's the Reborn content gone?
May I
You
continue?
know who's wondering that?
Marvelous.
Entertainment's wondering that. Thinking good.
Oh my god! So what I'm going to do is that I'm doing another re-edit where I'm improving things, but also I'm gonna glue all of them to make one giant episode, like a 4-hour episode of episode by episode reaction of Reborn. So I've been working on that. And I need to finish that before the next season of the Snack Covenant. So that's like a big undertaking. While Richie here tries to do one other Bloodborne up close. So I have all of those things that we just described. I'm editing them. And then Richie's like, oh, one more Bloodborne up close. I tried.
It's too difficult. We're friends, really.
I mean, I guess that's about it for today.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Rich is going to sleep. I'm gonna go do stuff. I might stream some more Amnesia later. We'll see.
Okay.
Oh, I'm making onion soup for my family.
Danielle asks, what is Reborn?
Danielle, did you really just ask that? Danielle, you're a cultist. Danielle?
Yeah, but you call those episodes the policy, and you upload them under different names, because you don't want us to get the channel, like, deleted.
Oh my god, it's not... Rich is being negative. The channel is not deleted. Nothing happened. It was a little misunderstanding, and it got sorted out, Richie. 2021 is positive. Stop it. Stop being negative about things that didn't even happen. Stop gaslighting Reborn, Richie.
It's true, yes. We only got one copyright claim, and I don't have cancer. So, positivity.
Thank you. So Richie, for Danielle and other newcomers, enablers, or cultists, could you please explain Reborn briefly?
Reborn is an anime about a baby who is a hitman, and his name is Reborn, and there's a number of other babies that are also hitmen. And it's revealed later on that, oh, well, those babies are hitmen because they're like magic babies.
Seven strongest babies of the mafia.
7 strongest babies in the mafia. And I thought, well, that's fine, they're magic babies. But then it turned out that a lot of the other babies are in fact just babies. And there doesn't seem to be much of a difference in Reborn between being a magic baby and just the powers of a regular baby has in this series that is incapable of settling on one tone, and features a shape-shifting chameleon turning into a UFO to give a boy some magic boxing gloves in the same episode that someone is repeatedly kicked in the stomach until they vomit blood.
I'm just gonna correct you on one little thing. The shape-shifting chameleon turns into a disco ball.
Oh yeah.
The boxing gloves. And they're not boxing gloves. Okay, what Suna gets is wool gloves. And when Reborn shoots him with a special bullet, and did it just happen? Did it just happen? This bitch just really leave in the middle of a Reborn conversation? Alright, Richie. Do the outro.
That was Bloodborne AMA 3?
I think it's 3.
3. Featuring Sin and Richie.
And a Brutus.
That's us. And the Brutus, yeah.
That's
I
not
missed
us.
that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, no, it's a real character. Like
Yes.
all the other ones visit us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Danielle just said, oh, that's Reborn.
She's probably heard it. And just not known what we were talking about because it's completely incoherent.
Yeah, because whenever I release a Bloodborne Up Close, I call it Bloodborne Up Close or Reborn.
Yes.
Who can say?
Yes.
But it's just a trick. It's always going to be Bloodborne Up Close. It's just to give people a little, like, adrenaline, you know?
if you have any further questions about Bloodborne, or indeed anything related to things we've discussed on the channel, perhaps a Reborn AMA is in order. I would genuinely love a Reborn AMA because roles would reverse and you could answer it.
Yeah, season 1 Reborn
And
AMA.
I'll sit there going,
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, that's what we're doing next week.
Okay.
8:30 a.m. Season 1 Reborn AMA. Yes. I'll make a post on Patreon right now. Yes, Richie. Keep going. The outro. The outro isn't
Okay,
gonna do itself.
Yes. Just shut up. Let's do it. Okay. If you liked this, you can join Discord, where we talk about these things as well. You can answer. We will talk to you there. Also, if you join Patreon, you can submit questions there for us to answer the next time we do this. Or you can just go to the chat and ask them there. But if it's on Patreon, we will definitely read it out because it'll be written down before. But if it's in the chat, it scrolls by really quickly. Also, I can't really see the chat from where I am because it's actually quite far
Yeah,
away.
I have a hard time seeing because I think aesthetics
Yeah,
is
but
more
that's
important
because-
than vision.
Yeah, you insist on wearing sunglasses indoors.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I do as well, but I take them off if I have trouble seeing.
Fake name just said 7 strongest babies of Bloodborne.
I can also count. Like, Murgo, Orphan of Cause, Annalise's child, Ariana's child. Do we want to do, like, Murgo versus Reborn?
We do,
As,
and we talked about this, and we already have the voice actors lined up.
Yeah. I'm Murgo! Don't hurt me! Go, go, go! Mom, hurry up! I'm stuck in a nightmare with a crazy broad with 6 arms! Get me out of here!
Thanks, Richie!
Wow, where did this Murgo voice come from?
Is No Count one of the strongest Bloodborne babies?
Does No Count even have a voice?
I don't know. Well, it's character development.
I wasn't consulted about No Count, you just dropped it on me. If I didn't
Alright.
trust your instincts, I would say no. At this point, just every stupid thing, like, oh, it's character now. I'm like, alright.
Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Richie.
Thank you, Sin.
And thanks everyone for listening.
Bye!
Bye! See you next time!
Get out of here!